Dawn of War 4 just dropped a new trailer, and oh boy guys, I almost popped a blood vessel looking at this thing. The Dark Angels and their motherfucking Primarch Lionel Johnson are featured, which to put it in the most simplest cow terms is fucking radical as hell. Sorry I'm swearing so much, I'm literally shaking with excitement right now. That's how big of a nerd I am, first off, and secondly, how insane of a reveal this is. It's even more insane when you realize we have not gotten any new lore for the line since 2023. Jesus Christ, time really flies by. But now it appears we are getting some new Lionel Johnson lore in this new Dawn of War 4 game. So in today's shorter video, your favorite fallen cow is going to briefly break down Dawn of War 4, why the lion is in it, where he was last seen, and what this could mean for the future of the lion and the Primarchs in general. Of course, there will be a brief power scaling tangent included as in traditional fallen cow fashion. Let's jump straight into the cow hole and break this all down. Alright, so here's what we know about this new game so far. It's set on the planet Kronos roughly 200 years after the events of Dawn of War Dark Crusade, following the chaos caused by the Great Rift's opening. The main campaign follows the Blood Ravens as they try to rebuild their chapter on this isolated world. But of course, things are never that simple in Warhammer 40K. They stumble across an ancient Necron structure, which kicks off conflicts with multiple factions, including the Orcs, Necrons, and Adeptus Mechanicus, each with their own campaigns. That's all we really knew until this trailer dropped. And oh boy, it seems the Dark Angels are stepping in to help, along with the sexiest man alive, the Primarch Lionel Johnson.
See that? The obvious symmetry of the face. This is a natural appeal of the scientific standard of poinophilia. Features that are a composite average of many features. Yes, he's attractive, but...
The trailer even teases, emphasis on teases, possibly a Catan shard stirring somewhere in the depths of the planet, which is even more insane. Before we continue, what the fuck is up with all these Catan shards being teased right now? First, we had some teased in the new 500 world expansion, and now this. The Necrons are clearly gearing up to be the next big threat in the new edition. But back to the lion and the reason you're watching this video. The lion appears to be there to help the Blood Ravens fight off all these different factions. The Orcs, Necrons, and probably some unexpected factions. We will probably see him square up against Orc war bosses, Necron lords, and the fight I am extremely excited to see, the lion versus a Catan shard, a fight that has never happened across Warhammer 40K. Most believe that a Catan shard is vastly more powerful than a Primarch, but since they've never fought, we don't exactly know, until potentially now.
Oh my god, okay, it's happening!
The power scaling implications are out of this world. For anyone unfamiliar with the Catan, a quick refresher before we move on. They were essentially the gods of the physical universe before the Necron shattered them after the War in Heaven. They can raise planets, destroy suns, and obliterate entire star systems with their reality warping powers. Even a shard of one of these fellas can warp reality. So this is not exactly going to be your casual Tuesday fight. This also means we're likely going to be able to actually use the lion in game, which will be peak content, giving us even more lore for power scaling purposes. I'm really hoping we also get a ton of new details on his shield and weapons, just to see how absurdly powerful he is, because we didn't really get a ton from him in his book, Son of the Forest, and the Ark of Omens, which I will remind you guys yet again that it came out fucking 2 years ago. But now, let's back up for a second. Where was the lion last seen, and what does this all mean for his story going forward? After Ark of Omens, where the lion banished Angron and the bad guys Vashtor and Abaddon actually won, the most recent Dark Angels Codex shows him firmly in control of the Rock. The Dark Angels' massive mobile fortress monastery, where he runs a dual court system, a public court where he hears appeals from those in need of protection across Imperium Nihilus, and an inner court reserved for his inner circle companions, his most trusted allies. He also appeared during interrogations of the Fallen, some of whom are taken to an unknown fate, strongly applied to become inner circle companions, while others are left to the interrogator chaplains. And he's not sitting around either. He's been pretty active in Imperium Nihilus, helping successor chapters like when he assisted one of the Ultima founding chapters in taking down an alien threat. Which brings us to the question, why exactly is the Lion on Kronos? And I have a few thoughts. First, since Kronos is within Imperium Nihilus, the Lion is naturally going to help out successor chapters like he did previously, since it seems the Blood Ravens kinda have their hands full. So it makes sense that he's appearing to protect the Imperium and their forces. A second thought is he might be there to deal with Vastor and stop whatever chaos he's been cooking up. When we last saw Vastor, he had the lock and the key, which means he is searching for the weapon. So this may be setting up another fight between the Lion and Vastor, connecting the dots between the Ark of Omens and that future installment. A third possible theory is he could be there trying to prevent that Catan Shard or just the Necrons in general from going completely out of control and taking over the planet. This is more of a hypothetical theory since I don't know if the Primarchs even know what the Catan or the Catan Shards are. But I feel like he is the only one on that planet that could possibly take one on. And my fourth theory is, well, it's pretty obvious. The Fallen may be present on Kronos. Kronos is an ancient world with layers of history and warped scars. Like we've seen in the most recent Dark Angels Codex, the Lion is actively seeking out the Fallen. So if there are any present on this world, you bet your bottom dollar the Lion and the Dark Angels are going to show up. Which would be a very, very cool reveal. Imagine this game is a branch between the Lion and Luther. Maybe there's a potential plot thread here that links us to Luther and the Lion's final confrontation. Either way, I am absolutely psyched out of my cow brain. I need to drink some milk to calm down, folks. With the Lion returning to Kronos, I think we're finally getting closer to a full Primarch reunion with him and Guilliman, as the Lion has become increasingly more active in Nihilus, and Guilliman should have a new route into Imperium Nihilus due to the events of the new Belisarius Callbook. And besides just being huge lore-wise, this is probably the first time we're actually getting the chance to play a Primarch in a video game, which is awesome. I mean, that's like something I've dreamt about since I started reading the books. Like, think about that for a second. The Lion is right there on your screen, and you are going to be able to suplex motherfuckers as a Primarch. Sign me up. Sign me up, fellas.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
But hold on, Herd. The Lion being included in this game stretches far beyond himself and opens the door for even more Primarch appearances in the future. You know the saying, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Well, actually, I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but we're gonna roll with it. Even if I got that wrong, the point still stands. If the Lion can appear in a video game, what's stopping the developers from doing the same with other Primarchs like Guilliman, or even Demon Primarchs like Fulgrim or Mortarion? The limits are officially gone, guys. And a final point before I wrap this up in a nice tight little bow, I feel like this means that officially the Primarchs are mainstream characters. Not just characters from the distant past of the Horus Heresy, but now essential characters in the current setting. That means more likely to return sooner rather than later. My next pick is definitely Leman Russ. With all the new Space Wolf releases, the timing couldn't be more perfect. And let's not forget, Warhammer 40K Total War could be just around the corner. And imagine playing that game with Primarchs. Oh my god, I'm going to jump out of my building from excitement. To put it simply, the Lion returning in this Dawn of War game is a massive shift for Warhammer 40k, and I can't wait to see where it goes next. Either way, regardless of what they do with this character, I'm happy because there's gonna be more autistic power scaling lore. And since I promised some autistic power scaling in this video, let's talk about the ramifications if the Lion was to defeat a Catan Shard. So a Catan Shard can literally move around reality, gravity, time, space. It is pretty much a Catan Light, as, you know, it is a Catan Shard. If the Lion can do this with the Emperor's Shield, he is by far probably one of the strongest Primarchs in the setting. And if Angron was able to almost defeat the Lion, I wouldn't say almost, it wasn't that close. But since their fight was kind of close, then most of the Demon Primarchs, or all of the Demon Primarchs, would probably scale above most Catan Shards. But really, it depends at the end of the day what size this Catan Shard is. If it's a teeny tiny little Catan Shard, then it's not really that big of a deal. But if it's almost half a real Catan, then oh my god, the Lion is him. I could elaborate more on this in a different video, but I'm trying to keep this a little bit on the shorter side. And that does it for this video. See, I tried to keep it as short as possible. Shout out my Patreon and YouTube members, Ryania Basket, Ritter S, Imposse Paul, Musty, Omar, Keedry, Nico149, William Strong, Nathan, and Soap Tastes Okay. Thank you all for supporting the channel. You guys are some of the coolest milk drinkers I've seen west of the Mississippi River. In my next video, the Chaos Warbands, which I was actually just working on, and then I decided to pivot and make this video instead. I'll be giving away a great unclean one of Nurgle created by the amazing Morph. So keep your eyes peeled for that video, and make sure you enter the contest, because you may receive a free ginormous Stinkmaster. Stay milked, fellas, and I'll see you in the next video.